Thank you for staying with us. And now we're going to take a look at the front pages of the newspapers. And we're starting with The Nation. A major headline, why Fubara delayed return. Then there's a picture here, it says, welcome to Kaduna, a picture of our president looking resplendent in, is it white or blue? Yeah. There we have Nigeria-US seal healthcare partnership, Pate Hills agreement. BOI granted adaptation fund accreditation, bank to finance climate issues, interesting. Tinubu to meet Aisha Buhari during Kaduna visit. And finally, UBA post 335 billion naira in profit, 1.6 trillion naira gross earnings in H1. Who's going first?
So the supporters of Governor Fubara yesterday were shocked. Y�ခြ𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐿 Governor Gbowon handicap, he did not show. Till now, he didn't show up. So yes, the president had reinstated him. Know why? We have not know why. I've read the paper inside, outside, upside down. But there was no specific whereabouts of the governor as to why he didn't show up yesterday at the government house. He didn't take over.
Was his deputy there? Was there anyone else?
There was nobody.
Paper just says he delayed return to the government house. Okay. And we hope that the delay is not for any mischievous reasons, but his supporters had come 6 a.m. that resumed, and they were beating drums, trying to give him the historic and royal welcome and all of that, but nothing happened. The in anticipation of the resumption, they were there, but the House of Assembly sat yesterday, and the Speaker had said that part of the business is to, review the past 6 months, and they had asked the governor to represent the budget, and also that they will be probing the administration of the sole administrator, and that's it. But former Governor Wike was later, suggesting that the governor left Europe, where he was on vacation, and that he called him, they called each other, whoever called what, but that he's on his way, and he's, so just suggestions.
It's nice to hear what happened. Was his flight delayed?
This is the most interesting 2025 for me. Thank you, River State, for giving me drama.
Who else?
Okay, I'm going on the Nigerian-US seal healthcare partnership, and the Minister of Health, Professor Ali Pate, has hailed the new partnership on healthcare between Nigeria and the United States, although details of the agreement have not been made available. The minister, in his tweet on his X handle, Mohammed Pate, yesterday said, "We welcome this new strategic partnership approach of the United States of America." He also clearly aligned that with our national sovereign interest to build robust and sustainable primary healthcare platform in Nigeria. It is the type of partnership we seek from the United States and other developed partners as we take proactive steps to prevent illness, improve population health outcome, control infectious diseases such as HIV and tuberculosis, malaria, pneumonia, and etc., expand health insurance, and establish well-functioning healthcare markets, as well as articulated in the healthcare health sector renewal investment initiative, that's NHSRII, of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He also said that Nigeria cherishes a win-win partnership with other countries, and we especially thank the American people and its government, led by President Donald J. Trump, for their stalwart support over the past 2 decades, and we look forward to engaging further on this comprehensive new strategy extended by the United States of America. This will accelerate the path of the countries to exit dependency over time. Good, applaudable. We wish that now that we are seeing that there's a bilateral relationship in the health sector, I hope that doctors who have gone can come back, because if you are losing your own people and you're bringing in foreigners, I mean, it doesn't really balance.
Makes sense. Okay, so I have the story from the UBA. They said the UBA posts 335 billion profits. They said the United Bank of Africa has recorded 335 billion profit after tax in its financial results for the half year ended June 30th, 2025. They said the bank's performance also shows 1.6 trillion gross earnings, representing 17.28% from 1.371 trillion achieved in same period of last year. And they said the performance indicators showed remarkable growth across its major business segments, driven by strong earnings. So they're also saying that the audited financials released to the Nigerian Exchange Limited on Thursday showed that the bank recorded significant growth in its gross earnings and profit after tax, signaling robust balance sheet expansion. And they said the results filed also showed that profit after tax, which stood at 316 billion in June, rose by 6.6% to close the half year at 335 billion. I'm just hearing there's just so many figures, large figures. But now that they've made profit, I hope that they will put some money to train their people on safety measures, because they have not said anything about people who lost their lives from that building, that fire incident that happened.
We've had statements actually from them. Let's go into the next paper, The Punch. Major headline says, emergency rule, uncertainty in Rivers as Fubara delays return. Governor in Abuja may resume today. That's the 8th. Assembly members resume. Wike denies plots to impose appointees on government. And then we have manufacturing, import bill widens 14 trillion naira trade deficit. Then there's a huge advertorial. So obviously we'll be taking some stories from inside the papers. But before we go into points, let's go on a short break. And when we return, we'll continue the review of the papers. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. We're still looking at the front pages of the papers, and we have looked at.
I wanted to take the import bill deficit.
Okay.
So we have a 14 trillion trade deficit because between January and June of 2025, our imports have stood between 15 trillion, 15.9 trillion, while 15.39 trillion, while our exports for this period is 1.09 trillion, which means that we have a 14 trillion deficit for imports alone. And according to the Punch, she said the manufacturing sector has sunk deeper as a result of this. Obviously, our local manufacturing can only account for about 1.9 trillion of our exports. Maybe consumption locally, yes, but what we consume locally, majorly, the imports has shown that we have used 14 trillion to bring in goods that we consume locally. And this, of course, would affect the local production. According to the Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Y𝐚𝐴, describes this as a troubling confirmation of what manufacturers have repeatedly warned about. This deficit is simply a confirmation that domestic manufacturing is still struggling and needs more, and more needs to be done to mitigate it. As much as I agree that government has to do more to assist them, I believe that we as a people should change our taste and all of that for foreign goods. There are some mostly local
Very
options,
important.
but we still majorly prioritize.
I think most times we don't have those local alternatives.
I understand in gadgets.
No, there's also trust deficit. You want to buy local, do you trust the process?
I think that
so many factors.
with because I suffer from all the blenders I have bought, all the blenders I have
all
bought.
imported.
I bought juicers. There's this exercise juicer that would have even made it easy for my aloe vera mix in the morning. You plug it every day, you press, it didn't work. But which company was that going to hold? Because it was brought in from one China and one small marketer that come and market it for me online and I bought. But if it was produced locally here, that their company gates, they go see me.
Of course.
So a lot of things like that.
I have the one that says Nigeria lucky Tinubu is tolerant of criticism, Wike. And the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Wike, has said Nigerians must count themselves very lucky to have a leader like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who he would describe as a tolerant leader, and he's tolerant of criticism. Wike said it is not only in Nigeria that Wike said it is only in Nigeria that a citizen will go on social media to describe the president as a criminal, expecting no consequence. The minister who spoke in Abuja on Thursday during the flag-off of the arterial road N1 in Wuye was alluding to a recent social media post by activist and ex-presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, who described Tinubu as a criminal, citing the video where President Tinubu, during his visit to Brazil, said he had eradicated corruption from Nigeria. Sowore had tweeted, in quotes, the criminal at official PBAT actually went to Brazil to state that there is no more corruption under his regime in Nigeria, What audacity to lie shamelessly. So it was based on this comment that Wike on Thursday said, in America, where citizens freely criticize President Donald Trump, no one would go as far as describing him as a criminal. There is a country where somebody on social media will say president is a criminal, nothing will happen. Wike said, you all say all kinds of things to the president, nothing will happen. No matter how you see Trump, people criticize Trump, have you ever seen an American citizen on social media say President Trump is a criminal? That's why he considers that we are very lucky that official President Tinubu is magnanimous.
Ramatu, do you have
I have a story on they said the 200 shops destroyed in Lagos. They said the National Emergency Management Agency, that's NEMA, has confirmed that at least 200 shops were destroyed and one person was injured following the fire outbreak at Lagos Island. They said this occurred on Tuesday when flames, they said the name of the plaza was Emma Plaza. They said a 4-story building behind Mandilas. And that the fire started around 9 p.m., broke out on the 4th floor and quickly spread to the neighboring apartments. And they said, NEMA said that the fire started from a faulty changeover switch in one of the buildings before spreading rapidly to adjoining structures. And they said the reason why the fire kept on, going was because of the presence of highly flammable materials such as clothing, footwear, and plastics in the market contributed to the rapid spread of the fire. And they said one individual sustained injuries from smoke inhalation and is currently receiving medical attention at the nearby health facility close to the office. So sorry. And they said they are going to help the owners of the shop to make sure that they get compensated for the loss.
Okay. Daily Sun, major headline, Rivers Assembly to probe Ibas. H1, UBA posts 335 billion PAT, 1.608 trillion naira gross earnings. Osun PDP asks Federal High Court CJ to probe suspicious letters on LG funds case. Passports now to be ready under 24 hours, assures federal government. And then we have $6 billion fraud. EFCC rearraigns ex-power minister Agunloye. At the top, we have federal government warns of looming downstream flooding. And finally, Governor Mba, Enugu to generate 1,000 megawatts from coal. Who's going first?
Okay, go on.
Okay, this one says Lagos residents are lamenting gridlock as tricycle and traders take over roads. And there is a growing anger amongst the residents of Abule Egba in Lagos over the daily traffic gridlock caused by commercial tricyclers and roadside traders who are virtually taking over major roads in the area. And every day from morning till night, till late in the night, commuters are trapped for hours as the tricycles park indiscriminately while traders display their goods along the road, leaving little or no space for motorists to pass. And the situation has not only slowed down economic activities, but also endangered lives, with many drivers resulting to driving against traffic in a bid to escape the hold-up. And one of the people that was spoken to there said, we are suffering here. Tricyclers and traders have turned the road to their own property. Government should come to our rescue before something worse happened. That's Mr. Kunle Adebayo. And Mrs. Funke Ojo also lamented that school children are now being delayed on the road for no reason. Going to school, they get to school very late. Coming back home, they still come back very late. And they are calling on the Lagos State government and the head of Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, to urgently intervene to clear the road and enforce safety, security, and order in the area.
Very important.
Okay, so I'm in love with Governor of Enugu State, Governor Mba. I've said it over and over again. But yesterday he was at he was a guest of the Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce, where he did the Meet the Governor series. And here he presented the business case for investing in Enugu. And he emphasized that they will be utilizing the coal in Enugu to generate 1,000 megawatts of power in Enugu State. Is that not the state that their state NERC, the National Electricity Regulation,
reduced
so their own state
price.
Regulation, yes, they dropped the band A tariff. And so now they're looking to generate their own power using their coal. And it says that we cannot treat our coal as stranded assets, particularly Enugu coal, which is premium. This coal has 0.5 sulfuric content, and it's premium coal. He said the target, of course, is to use that coal to generate at least 1,000 megawatts of power, and they have the technology now to reduce the adverse effect of coal on the environment.
Okay.
So he said that essentially this is the direction for them in Enugu State. I'm so impressed by his story. He's also looking at taking delivery of another 6 planes to join the Enugu Air that he just launched. Governor Ba, I'd like to interview him. I can't wait.
Yes. Do you have? No. Okay, so let's go on to the Vanguard. Major headline: Rivers Assembly resumes sitting. Fubara fails to show up. Osun local government crisis probe judicial irregularities. PDP tells CJ. Abuja lets to Fushengbua ruling house in leadership face-off. Government ends passport production at multiple centers after 62 years. Marketers want us to increase pump price by 75 naira. By 75 naira. Marketers. Flood alert. Federal government raises fresh alarm as rivers Niger, Benue reach peak level. Plateau targets Middle East halal markets to boost economy, says Muftuang. NGE pays courtesy visit to the governor. Please, who has this government ends passport? Or do
I have, that's the Nigerian Immigration Service. NIS has officially ended passport production at multiple centers, transitioning to a single centralized system for the first time in 62 years. I think that is an applause. In 62 years. Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, said this yesterday while inspecting Nigeria's new centralized passports personalization center at the NIS headquarters in Abuja, where he stated that since the establishment of NIS in 1963, Nigeria has never operated a central passport production center until now, marking a major reform milestone. He also said that he explained that the old machines could only produce 200 to 300 passports daily, but the new system has a capacity of 4,500 to 5,000 passports daily. He said with this, NIS can now meet daily demands within just 4 to 5 hours of operation. He added, describing it as a game changer for the passport processing in Nigeria. Tunji-Ojo described the development as a step towards bringing services closer to Nigerians while driving a culture of efficiency and total passport system reform. Really loved it. He has been giving us back-to-back gist since when he assumed office as a minister. Thank you, Minister Tunji-Ojo.
Yes, unfortunately, that's all we can take. I really wanted to hear the Dangote marketer story, but that's all we can take on the front pages this morning. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll move to our special segment of the day. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.